Awesome. So let's start with what's happening in the world. As you probably all know, data is something like an electricity, or it's becoming the main important commodity these days that you can drive insights from. So every company that I talk to is looking at like, hey, how do I use my data? Especially how do I bring in advanced analytics like AI and machine learning into the play? But then there is also this problem of like, data has been split across multiple softwares and multiple places. So it's also siloed and sitting in a different areas. So this is some of the challenges you have been seeing. But what's new about it, right? So in the last 2 years, what we have seen is like the data that every company has, it's vastly growing. That is also because of like different applications, and it's also the cloud allows us to grow. Now that becomes cumbersome, right? So you have operational databases, business apps, relational databases, which makes it extremely hard. Now the other challenge is like bringing all this data together and trying to do extraction and then process it. And first of all, you have to transform it and make some sense. That becomes the next set of challenge. Then there is this own challenge of like, once you do all of those things, then you have to hand it over to the next level of workload, which is like your advanced analytics. So you all probably are seeing it in one way or another. It could be like driving machine learning and AI into your organizations, or allowing people to take data-driven decision-making process. Both of them have the same challenge. Yes, there is a cognitive piece that we'll talk next week. That is a little bit different. But if you want to build your own AI and machine learning, this challenge do still exist. So we realize that. We see that, okay, it's just not only operational databases and then you need analytics. There is this component called data governance is very important, because that there are a lot of questions comes in terms of trust and compliance and the right people accessing the right system. So that is very, very, very key. Now, that being said, these are some of the challenges, right? Now, what Microsoft is doing, what we did is like we are not bucketing ourselves into like one per se um, behemoth database like everybody, some of our competitors are looking at. Rather, we understand that you're going to have, regardless of, even if you try to bucket it into one, it's always been a failure. So we wanted to have a suite of platforms together where you can use it for whatever needs that could be. It could be relational, it could be NoSQL, it could be analytics, it could be like extremely large scale processing like Azure Databricks. And on top of it, you can also use our AI tools. But we also provide you Purview, which is our governance engine, so that you can actually look at your entire data lake and see what's happening. You can know what policies to apply. You can also you can organize it. You can provide a lot of governance on top of it. Now, this is the next generation we are going. We are also extending that into our first-party products. We'll have native integration as well. For those who are using D365, M365, and Power Platform, you can always have a connectivity to the data intelligent data platform as well. Now, this is what we call the limitless scale platform, because you can scale as you need it. And I'll show you a quick demo as far as I have some time. So this is the analytics play that we are going after. I'm going to switch into a few of the area that's why we are going to look, and I'll show you and we'll talk about it. This is the main thing. As today's day and age, you wanted to do advanced analytics, especially on the business side, but you also wanted to build your data science practice, which is also kind of needs the same data that you're going to use, right? Data warehousing itself is taking such a long time by doing all these calculations and things like that and transforming. And data lake poses another challenge. Like you can have unstructured data in here. What is the compute that we are going to use? How easy it can be? Those all play a fact. So what we are doing, we are actually bringing everything together. So we wanted to actually bring a limitless scale compute and also, storage option as well. So that's how this thing popped up. So this is called what we call Synapse Analytics. This is an engine that compute is split and the storage is actually split. So you can have different storage and you can also have different computes depending on your needs and things like that. And on top of it, if you look at the top, you see the unified experience. We'll also add governance for everything that we are going to do. So you will get a holistic view of doing everything, including your closed source systems like SQL Server, Cosmos DB, or you can also use Spark and Spark SQL open source environment in here as well. We are also bringing in the time series engine, which is our data explorer. And then what we are going to do is we're going to extend that into and give you easy access. If you have existing applications like SQL Server and Cosmos DB and things like that, we give you Synapse Link. You just configure it and it automatically pushes the data to the data lake, into the Synapse Analytics data lake. So you don't have to move the data, it'll automatically move. So we are making it much easier as much as we can. Ron, how much time do I have?
We got about 15 minutes.
Okay, so this time, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to go over from Angel.
Pardon?
I just wanted to, hold on one second, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you what the product is about. So this is the Synapse Analytics that I was talking to you about. The way that we are looking at is like, we used to have different services to do ingestion, processing, analytics, and visualization, right? That used to be our case. But what we are trying here is a little bit different approach. We are bringing the entire data life cycle into one pane. So that means this UI is going to be the one UI that you all can go into, and you can actually view the data. We give you different form of viewing the data. So you can actually create tables as well. We have a concept called lake databases with confined industry specific models. Leverage that as much as possible. And then you can connect to the regular data store. This is our ADLS Gen 2 with a high secured store is also available. We are also providing you an option to develop here. So there are a bunch of options, and we have a couple of processing engine. If you guys need detail, let me or Ron know, and I'll get you more details on it. Here we are introducing a new concept called serverless SQL. This is basically, you can actually query a SQL server, SQL-like in data store without having to do, without actually putting in a proprietary data like a database or proprietary file storage. I'm just basically querying, this is a real query directly from the storage. These are Parquet files. That's what I'm trying, that's what I'm applying, and I'm just saying a schema on read, and I'm just calling it in. That's it. This is kind of the new technology that we are working on. We call it serverless SQL, and you pay based on, so you can see these are like 10 gig, 20 gig files, and it's pretty decent in terms of performance as well. Now we also provide you Spark access. So if you're very hardcore and if you wanted to write Spark code, diehard Spark fans, you also have the notebook feature available with PySpark and Scala, and you also even have a .NET version of Spark. Now, is that it? No. We also give you a drag and drop interface. I want you guys to take a look at this, try it out, and let us know. So this is something backed by Synapse Spark, so you can actually scale it. At the same time, you have an option to not to write code. Rather, you can actually drag and drop and configure. Like you can do all the SQL operations that you would try to do in an ETL engine, like to load the data, transform the data, and then sync it back. So it also allows you to scale as needed. this is something that, even though it is drag and drop, under the covers it is done through like a Spark engine. So it actually is extremely faster. Now, we give you this, we also give you what we call the pipeline, which is called integrate here. What this is your orchestration tool. So if you have multiple steps of processing you want to do, this is a sample I did for today. I wanted to showcase, like, say, if you want to do something in data flow and then push that output to notebook, you can do that. And then I'm doing Spark based ML training. So basically I'm imitating, like, how do you do data processing before you do a machine learning modeling, and then you can do that either in drag and drop or you can do that in notebook style. And then you can go, as of right now, machine learning, you have to either use notebook or we have to go into our Azure machine learning. So here I'm using the notebook in Spark and trying to build a code. And we also provide you, so you can see how your development environment is in here. You can schedule these pipeline run. We have a bunch of triggering mechanism if you want. It can be through, so sorry. If you click new, you will see it could be time based, or it could be like, even you can do like a schedule based or tumbling window or custom storage event, for if you want to trigger it on a ad hoc fashion. So that is also available. Now, is that it? No, I mean, you can do the development, you can view the data in here. So I'm going to show you, like, and it's also connected to our Azure Active Directory. So you can apply permission. So it's not that you can just come in and um, look at everything. I have permission, so I'm seeing it over here. And I can also do like this, do select and just go run. This is also available. This option will also work. Not only that, you can also come here. You will have the monitor. This is where you can see what's your job is doing, how your job is doing. We also provide you details on how much each job is going to take. You can also see what I failed. I wanted to show you what happens when you fail. You can also see the error messages in here. It's a very comprehensive, nice monitoring tool, like a management tool that allows us to go deep. And we can also go deep into the job and see go details. See, I show you the pipeline. There were 3 items. One of them is data flow. So you want to make sure you can click on the data flow here, and you can actually see like how many records it processed. Like this processed about 1.5 billion rows. This processed about 15 billion rows. And this is about like 270 million. And then I'm doing join, and it's saying how many rows it's calculated. So you can see some statistics also based on the job that you are running on each one of them. You can see for the Spark also, Spark's output is also available in here. It'll also show you the Spark notebook in here. You can also see the Spark history. We'll come to this lineage part. Very interestingly, I want to show you that. And then the machine learning also. So, and told you, like, you will be able to see. So if you come to the main screen and if you click this one, it'll tell you how much you consume. So this, my job, I consumed about 77 hours of vCore on this particular node, and then the extra 3 activities I was running. So it allows you to, it gives you the information for you guys to also do the pricing calculation as well. Is that it? No. If you come back here, let's say, okay, I have connected this with Purview. So what Purview does is, like, that gives you, it's our cataloging tool, and it is also the governance tool. What does it mean? You can see the entire, there is a different UI to see the entire assets. I can also search over here. I've connected it to the Synapse workspace, and you can also see lineages. This is pretty very interesting for us for doing, like, GDPR and CCPA type compliance. So you can see how the data moved and where it got stored. This is the one that I was showing you. So it actually auto populates it, and we can come and look at it. So this is basically our one go-to tool. There is also an option to connect to Power BI, which I haven't connected it yet. You can also connect the Power BI here, and you can actually also see your oh, we also have the KQL. KQL is our time series engine, which is called the Kusto. It's called also Azure Data Explorer. That is also connected here. And you can also connect to Power BI. And not only this, we also give you administration in here. You can also control this by ACLs. It's a secured platform. It doesn't allow everybody to come in without authentication. You can control the packages, the libraries that wanted to go. The best part I like is like everything I do, I have it connected to my GitHub repo. So the code is always saved and code repo versioning is done. So if you want, you can promote this from dev test prod and you can move it. You can move through the different environments as well. Here is where how you connect to connect to our purview. This is my purview instance. So if you see, it'll go up, go to a next window, and then this. Let me bring that down. Okay. So you can see now here, this is the entire asset. We can actually look at, like, if I go here, you will see my, wow. Here we go. So you will see entire data lake, how it is built. We also have some cool features like insights built in here. So you can see how your assets are spread across. This is extremely useful if you have a large data lake and data warehouse footprint. You can not only see by assets collection, you can also see by source in different places where it is stored. This is connected to the Synapse Analytics workspace as well. So automatically anything that you do in Lineage, it gets automatically pushed into our governance product for you guys to manage and maintain. The normal data stewardship, like approving a golden data set, that is also possible. We have that. There is also business glossary and technical glossary. You can create your own hierarchy for glossaries. All of those are available. Computes are available in here. You can scale as you need it. Access control, you have an access control in here where within the workspace also we can specify who acts what access. So and admins can give different persona, different access control. So if I'm a regular user, I might not be able to come and manage this thing, but I can also do service principal like this one, so that it can automatically submit job and run and automate and things like that. Or you can also give it to regular user. So that's basically our platform and the demo that I showed you. Let me go back to my so far, any questions?
I'm looking here, Bala. I'm not seeing, oh, we do have one. It's going to be a little bit more detailed. We've got about maybe like 4 minutes left. So Nikon Patel, he's got some detailed ones. Bala, I want to make sure that you could just answer them in the Q&A after you finish up, because they're very detailed and specific, okay?
Yeah, sure. So what I showed you, this is basically a different view on what the platform you saw. So the undercover storage, you can do open source, which is what we have. You can do Delta Lake, Parquet, Avro, whatever formats you guys want. And then we provide you a governance layer, and then we allow all these personas, like you have tools for data engineering, real-time batch. You can do AI and ML. You can do SQL-based analysis. You can even build your own data warehouse inside. We also have the dedicated pool. So as you see, like you are bringing in all different type of workload in one platform, so that you don't have to move the data here and there. Everything is in one place. Boom, it's easy for you to manage, maintain, and plus go to data science workload. Now this is a little bit of an elaborate slide that I was talking about. We are looking at more and more becoming open source. So that's why we are using Delta Lake, Parquet files. and we use a lot of ELT for ELT Parquet, Spark. Even the data flow under the covers is actually started with it's Spark based, so you can scale and you can process large volume in a much smaller time frame. All the IDEs are within web based. You can also use your Visual Studio Code if you want, and the entire platform can scale as you need it. Serverless SQL, you don't have to plan anything. For Spark, you only pay for when you are running. So it's extremely flexible in terms of that as well. Dedicated pool is the only one. And Azure Data Explorer, those are the two engines that if you're going to do it, you have to plan in advance because that is continuously running. Reminding everything else, mostly pay as you go. Storage is also pay as you go. So that's basically that's the basic thing that I had to show you guys today. If you want to get started, here are some links. We would like to hear from you, and we'll talk about AI next week.